Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? I hope your Monday is off to the most beautiful start and you had the most beautiful long weekend. Before we jump into today's live, let's close our eyes. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out. One more time, in through the nose and out. Just bringing us into this present moment together as we get ready to go into our day, taking whatever you need from today's live and implementing it into your life so that you can have a healthier, happier you at the end of the day. Because that is always what we're doing together, is really just improving our lives so that we can feel as well as we deserve to feel, mind, body, and soul. So, how are we feeling today? Did you have a really fun long weekend? Did you eat lots of yummy chocolate? Did you have a delicious family dinner? I would love to hear how you spent your weekend. I was at my cabin. It was so relaxing. It was exactly what I needed after a very busy few weeks at work. And the busyness is not over, but the franticness, I hope, is almost done. And I'm just so grateful for that downtime, for that relaxation. And I'll be honest, there was a part of me that wanted to feel a little bit guilty because I didn't spend as much time outside as I wanted. I didn't move as much as I wanted. I really, really needed some rest. It's just been a really crazy season for me. And there was a part of me that struggled with that a little bit, but I had to give myself a little pep talk and remind myself that rest is necessary and that it's actually very productive because it helps you reset, it helps you come back to yourself. And re- sleep is one of those things that if you don't get enough of it, you do. And it keeps score. So if you're not getting enough rest, your body keeps score and it's eventually going to crash and burn, which is how you end up with colds and aches and pains and things like that when you're just go, 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 go. If you're not really tuning in and taking care of yourself. So, rest is a really important part of taking care of yourself. So, I don't want you to ever feel guilty about giving yourself what you need in that regard. And I did still do some yoga and I did still move a little, but just not to the extent that I normally do. But today I'm feeling so good in my body and so good about this week. And I just wanted to know how you're feeling. How are you doing? And are you feeling a little bit guilty? Are you feeling like you ate too much and that now it's time to get back on track and get back into a rhythm and take better care of you? Put a hand down below if that's where you're at. And I just want you to let go of whatever is past. Stop beating yourself up for whatever choices that you made that don't necessarily support that life that you want long term. And just allow yourself to be human. Allow yourself to make mistakes and stumble and fall and to realize that life is meant to be experienced and enjoyed. And we should have the chocolate and we should have the good meals and we should not feel guilty about having what we want when we want it. And remembering that taking care of you is a process. It isn't a one and done. It isn't all or nothing. Where are my all or nothing girls? Hands up in the air. Give me two of these little guys if that's you. That was me for so many years. I was such an all or nothing girl. I was either all in or I was off the wagon completely. Like, just it was either one or the other. I was either like binge eating like crap, not taking care of myself, not moving my body, not drinking water, drinking too much alcohol, doing or, or I was eating really well, moving my body so much, drinking so much water, refusing anything that didn't support my plan. Um, and neither of those helped me. Neither end of that spectrum helped me. What helped me in the long term and what helps me sustain consistent movement and drinking lots of water and eating well and taking care of my body and really just No more binge eating, no more feeling like I need to sit down and eat a full bag of chips, like, no more of that. Um, what really helped me get there was small steps over time. And I think that so many of us resist that because we think that those small changes don't make a big enough impact because you don't see immediate results, right? Like if you start drinking water every day, for example, you don't see the immediate result of that. What you see is that you're going to the bathroom more often, which is annoying. Or you see that um I can't think of an example, but my brain has like is going forward too quickly here. But you don't see the benefits of that right away. And we're very much wanting the quick fix, wanting the magic formula, wanting the magic pill to feeling well in our bodies, to feeling good about who we see in the mirror, to feeling as well as we deserve to feel. We want it to happen right now. We want to start eating well, start drinking water, and lose 10 pounds right off the bat. And that's possible, especially if you haven't been taking care of yourself very well. It is possible to see those kinds of results. But eventually you're going to plateau out, right? Like once you get so far along in your journey, you plateau out. So once I hit 60 pounds, 60-pound weight loss, the pounds after that are much harder. The first 60 were quite simple, but I mean, quite simple in that, in perspective, I guess. It wasn't didn't feel simple at the time, let's say that, but it took me a year and a half. And it so the first 60 felt fine, but these last, 40, these pounds are like, well, I'm not so sure. Like it's not as easy. It's not coming as simply. But I don't even care about that anymore. I've released my need to have a certain number on the scale because it doesn't mean anything anyway. It only means what you decide it means. And you get to decide every step of the way. And for me, feeling good about myself, about how I'm showing up in my body, is way more important than any arbitrary number on the scale. I have been at my ideal weight, at the weight where my doctor declared me healthy and sent me on my way. And I felt terrible. And it's not to say that you can't feel really well at your ideal weight. Hasn't been my experience so far, but my plan going forward is as I release more weight, which I know is happening right now. I'm feeling some shifts in my body, but I'm not getting on the scale because I just don't care. I feel good in my body. And that is the most important thing. And getting to the place where you feel good about that without being reliant on any kind of tracking mechanism of like hitting. I know that there's a certain satisfaction that comes with hitting that kind of goal, but there's no satisfaction. There's nothing in this world that feels better than feeling good about yourself, about the person that you are, about how you're showing up in the world, about honoring who you are, and just stepping into the person that you are meant to be. And what I want you to know is that the small steps make the biggest impact. That is how you change your life. You change your life not by losing weight. You change your life by making small changes every day that support the life that you want. And it gets to be so simple. It gets to be as simple as drinking enough water every day, about getting up early in the morning, about going to bed at a decent hour at night. Those small changes in your life make you feel so, so, so good. And it's going to feel so much better than any diet or program or supplement ever will. And I'm very pro supplement. So for me to say that is a big deal because I believe that, well, I know that. I've experienced that. I know what it means to feel good about yourself no matter what the scale says. And I want you to know that it gets to be easy, and the success comes in the small changes that you make every day, and of letting go of it needing to be perfect, letting go of it needing to look a certain way, letting go of hitting a certain number on the scale, letting go of being a certain having a certain size pants, letting go of the result and focusing on your action, focusing on applauding yourself for showing up for yourself every day, focusing on making choices that make you feel good about yourself, focusing on the things that make you happy and the things that make you laugh and the people who make you feel good. And those things are so much more important and will bring what you want to you faster because you're focusing on how you want to feel. And that is the part that so many people miss. You think that the number on the scale is going to make you feel a certain way. But really, in order to hit the number that you want on the scale, you have to focus on how you want to feel now. You need to focus on how can I bring more of the feelings that I want to me now? What actions are going to make me feel that way? What people are going to make me feel that way? What boundaries do I need to set up to help me feel that way? It really is all about focusing on how you want to feel first and celebrating each step you take towards what you want. We're so focused on how much further we have to go. Here's what you need to know: there's always going to be more to achieve. There's always going to be more you want to unlock. You're always going to want more. That is part of the human experience. Once we hit a certain level, we automatically want more. We want to see how much more we can accomplish. We want to see how much more we can get. We want to see how much better it can be. That's part of the human experience. It's part of it, what we're here to do is really experience life at the highest level. But we also don't take enough time to celebrate how far we've come, to celebrate where you've been to where you are. And each time you make um, each time you make a choice that supports the life that you want, that is to be celebrated. Celebrate it. And listen, I'm guilty of this too. Like, I am so guilty of this. I just did this huge project at work, and I made three mistakes, three, in this huge in this huge project. And instead of focusing on the 210 that I did right, I focused on the three that I messed up. And but that's part of being human. And but recognizing that is super important, and flipping the script on that and changing your perspective on that, and remembering that you are human and that you're doing the best that you can, and letting that be enough. That has been probably one of the most important lessons that I've learned in this last year, is letting my best be enough and letting go of perfection and focusing instead on my progress, focusing on how far I've come, focusing on what's good, focusing on what feels good, focusing on all the joy and blessings and peace and love that I already have in my life, focusing on the joy. That will change your life. Focusing on how much further you have to go, and how much longer you have to grind it out, and how much harder it's going to be, is not going to get you what you want. And it's definitely not going to get you what you want faster. It's going to slow you down. You're standing in your own way because you're focused on perfection instead of progress, and you're focused on hitting the goal instead of focusing on how you want to feel, and recognizing those feelings are available to you now. You just need to learn to tap into them. What one thing can you do today that is going to make you feel better today? Let's not get so far ahead of ourselves. Let's focus on today, the next moment, the next choice, the next decision. How can you make that better? How can you make that more aligned to who you are and who you want to be? It really gets to be that simple. Focus on your progress over the perfection. Focus on what's good. Be super grateful. Set up the boundaries that you need. Allow it to be fun. Allow it to be easy. Allow for failure, because you will not get through this process. You will not get to the other side unless you are willing to fail. And that was a big part of my problem for a really long time, is that I didn't want to fail. I am the epitome of a good student. Of I like to excel at things. I hate being bad at things. But the faster I let myself fail, the more that I learn and the more that I can move on and be exactly where I want to be. So don't be afraid of the failure. Don't be afraid to stumble and fall. Step into the version of you that allows it to be whatever it needs to be, so you can learn whatever it is that you need to learn. We are all here to learn and grow and be better and give more and just enjoy this beautiful life that we have and that we've been given, and allow it to be easy and allow it to be fun. I think that's it for me. This kind of went off on a tangent that I didn't expect. I had a very clear vision of what I wanted to say, and it kind of went off on a tangent, but I hope it was helpful. I hope it was clear. I hope it was valuable. And if you have any questions about any of it, please let me know. I am here to support you. I have so many tools in my toolbox that I would love to help you help yourself and be where you want to be. And I am right in this process of launching a brand new program. It's called the Back to Basics Bootcamp, where we're focusing on things like setting boundaries and creating a vision and creating mantras and setting intentions and just really understanding and walking through, not only understanding, but understanding and walking through the steps together so we can get where we want to get faster, so that you can close the gap from where you are now to where you want to be. That it's because it's all about building that bridge, right? About getting to, you see, what you're focused on is this huge gap from this is where I am and this is where I want to be. And it feels too overwhelming. It feels like there's too much to do to build that bridge. Like it's just too much. So you shut down, you don't do anything. It's the all or nothing mentality. And what I want you to know is that don't focus on the whole project, focus on the next step. What next step is going to help you build one plank in that bridge? And then what's the next step? And before you know it, that bridge is a quarter way done, it's half a way done, it's fully done, and you're there. You're where you want to be. And it's so, so, so good. But keep your focus on the next step. Don't be so focused on the huge vision. Yes, focus on how you want to feel, but don't get caught up in how you're going to make it happen. Just focus on the next step. That's it for me. Have the most incredible Monday. Thank you so much for spending time with me this morning. I love you so much. All the love and light from my heart to yours. Take care of you.